What's up guys, Pop101 here. Today I'm going to be showing you Trials of the Shinobi, which has 10 new spells, 34 total items, 4 maps, and is a ton of fun. So let's get started. Alright, without further ado, we go to our Trials category and we have Itachi's Anbu Sword, one of the newer weapons in this pack. It's beautiful, it can be grabbed from both the handle and the blade itself, and when imbued, it has this beautiful custom imbue. Asuma's Chakra Blades, if you press the spell or alt button, you can activate them, and as always, a beautiful custom imbue. The bomb kunai, it can be imbued, but there's really no point because as soon as you throw it, it explodes. The Konoha Chakra Blade, beautiful weapon and beautiful imbue. Pain's Chakra Receivers, they have an imbue as well. Kakashi's White Light Chakra Saber, that can be grabbed from the blade as well, also has a beautiful imbue. Darui's Cleaver Sword, it can be imbued as well, and unlike the other swords, this one can actually pierce enemies up to here when slashing them. The Demon Wind Shuriken, it can slash enemies with every single point. It can be imbued, and when throwing, it actually spins. Enma in his staff form, the third Hokage's summon, it can be imbued, as well as Gravity Slam. The Executioner's Blade, one of the cool things that I did to this in this update is now you can actually put your fingers through the blade because I made the colliders manually. You can stick your head, you can stick enemies' heads, and as always it has a beautiful imbue. Hagoromo Otsutsuki Staff, you can attack from both sides and you can actually shoot fireballs from it. And if it's imbued with gravity, you can gravity slam. Now the Sage of Six Paths brother, Hamura's staff, it can do the same thing. When imbued with fire, it can shoot fireballs, and when imbued with gravity, it can gravity slam. Hanzo's Kusarigama, I'm not sure if I said that right, but with his weapon, you can pierce along the entire blade, and you can slash across like this. It also has a beautiful imbue. Hidan's triple-bladed scythe, my favorite weapon in the entire pack. It's beautiful, as you can tell. You can pierce with every single one of these blades, and you can slash like this. It also has a beautiful imbue. The Hiramekarei is one of those weapons of the Seven Swordsmen of the Myth. It has a beautiful imbue as well. The Kabuto Warrior Axe, it's a normal axe except it has a beautiful imbue to it. Along with the Kabuto Warrior Axe, we have the Capitaori Hammer because they're normally used as a pair. Again, beautiful imbue, and if imbued with gravity, it can gravity slam. One of the other weapons of the Seven Swordsmen of the Mist, Kiba. Now of course, you can use the weapon as a sword, slash on both sides, and if you press the alt or spell button, you imbue it with lightning. One of the newer weapons in this pack is Mifune the Swordsman's Kurosawa, his blade. Now it's a beautiful weapon, it can be grabbed on the blade as well, and it has a beautiful imbue to it. The Kushimaru, a sewing needle used by one of the Seven Swordsmen of the Mist. It can stab and pierce enemies as well as doing blunt damage, and it has a custom imbue as well. The long chakra receiver used by Jigen, I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, just know that he uses it and it's very cool. You can obviously pierce on both sides and do blunt damage, and it has a nice imbue to go along with it. Madara's Gumbai, We all know who Madara is. If you don't, I definitely recommend watching Naruto. Now, if this weapon is imbued, you can Gravity Slam. One of the other new additions to this pack is this Sword of Nunaboko, used by the Sage of Six Paths to shape the world. It's an incredibly large weapon, very powerful. If imbued with fire, it has this custom imbue that I made. You can shoot fireballs from it, and if imbued with gravity, we can Gravity Slam. One of the other new weapons in this pack is Omoi's Sword. Omoi is one of the swordsmen of the Hidden Cloud. It has a beautiful imbue, and can also be grabbed on the blade as well. Now, of course, we have Naruto's Kunai, which can pierce, it can slash, and it has a nice imbue to it. Now, one of the big updates to this pack is Minato's Hiraishin. The script has been updated, so no longer do you need to hold the trigger and throw it to teleport. What you need to do is whenever you grab the weapon, all you need to do is throw it, press the spell button or the alt button, depending on what system you have, and you teleport directly to it. You can even teleport in the air. So right now I'm holding it, I want to teleport over there, I press the spell button, and notice it's still moving. We have Boruto Shurikens. If you press the spell button or the alt button, depending on your system, it can imbue with lightning. Next, we have the Samehada, which is a weapon that grows with the more kills you have. There's other videos on this, so I'm not going to show you in this one, but I definitely recommend checking them out because this, after getting 20 kills, grows into that. It's incredibly amazing, and it looks awesome when it's all bloody and imbued. Sasuke's Kusanagi. We all know who Sasuke is. You can grab the handle, you can grab the blade, and if you press the spell button, it imbues with lightning. One of the new additions to this pack is Sasuke's Susanoo Sword, which will be updated a bit, but this is a little fun thing to show you guys. Now, it is always fire imbued, even though there's no fire effect to it. Very cool. It can slash, and it's overall a very nice weapon. The Shibuki, as you all know, it explodes. That's what all these paper bombs are for. It only explodes while you're holding it, so there you go. If any enemies are near, they explode. We have the Shikisaiken, if I said that right, one of the new weapons in this pack. Just like the Sword of Nunaboko, it is one of the tools of the Sage of Six Paths. It is a beautiful weapon, just like Madara's Gunbai. If imbued with gravity, it gravity slams. But I just want to take a minute to show you guys, this is one of my new favorites in this pack. Look at how beautiful this imbue is. We have Shisui's Tanto, Shisui Uchiha, best friend to Itachi. You can grab the blade. It is overall a very nice weapon. Also has a very cool imbue to it as well. And last but not least, we have the Sword of the Thunder God, a weapon stolen from the second Hokage. If we press the spell or alt button, we activate it, and it is the first and only weapon in Blade and Sorcery to be always imbued with lightning. It can easily pierce into anything, it can easily cut limbs off, and all you have to do is press the alt or spell button to activate and deactivate it. And yes, you can stick your finger through these. Alright guys, time to look at our new spells. So first up, our new and improved Rasengan. So if we pull the trigger, it actually grows now. And if we pull the trigger then the grip, now every single player, no matter what VR system you're on, can use the giant Rasengan. Remember, trigger then grip, not grip then trigger, or else it won't work. So, for a little demonstration. Next up, we have Fireball Jutsu. So, with enemies coming at you, you pull the trigger. Any enemy in the vicinity gets blown back. That spot lights on fire. The enemy's lights on fire. Great, super powerful. Now, if you Hold the trigger while you're holding a weapon and the spell is selected. It will also imbue your weapon with fire. And when hitting an enemy with an imbued fire blade from Fireball Jutsu, they also light on fire. Alright guys, next up we have the Chidori. Keep in mind with this, now you can much more easily just grab enemies and cut off their limbs. Next up, we have the Atomic Dismantling Jutsu. So any enemy caught in the explosion of the Atomic Dismantling Jutsu gets, well, atomically dismantled. Goodbye. The Shuriken spawner. So like normal, you pull the trigger, press the spell or alt button, it imbues with lightning, and, well, you can throw it at them. Now we have the Amaterasu, which is like the Fireball Jutsu, but it doesn't actually explode when it hits enemies or on contact with them. So lights everything on black fire. Really cool ability, and if you're grabbing a weapon, you hold the trigger. It imbues with black flames, plus when hitting enemies, they get covered in black fire as well. Next, we have the Rasen Shuriken. So if we pull the trigger, not only can we knock enemies back, but if we throw it at them, it explodes, knocks them back, and it has particles even better than before. One of the newer mods is the Rasen Ringu, which is basically the Rasen Shuriken, but 10 times more powerful. Alright guys, one of the spells you've been asking me to update, we have our Shadow Clone Jutsu. So now if we pull the trigger, we spawn allies in clouds of smoke. Just like the show. Now, what's that you ask? What happens if they die? Well, they explode into clouds of smoke. Now, last but not least, we have our Renegade Spell. And for this one, I'll use both hands. So all you have to do is hold the trigger, and when you release, you shoot out chakra rods at the enemies. If you hold trigger and then grip, you spawn a giant chakra rod that you can use to, well, bash enemies. Like that. You can also throw it. Very cool weapon. Now let's say this is not your forte. What if you want to use the other Renegade abilities? Well, merge them together and pull apart to Almighty Push. Okay? And now, if you want to merge them and pull your hands together, we have the Universal Pull. Now, one other cool thing about the Renegade spell, if you imbue it and you attack an enemy with an imbued weapon, and they don't die, their eyes will go black, like this, and they will temporarily become your ally. Welcome to the Tailed Beast Temple. Now yes, this is where Naruto learned to control Kurama, and actually befriend him. Or at least begin his way of doing that. Now there is a secret. As I'm sure you can see, there's a door. Well, if we jump into it, we can actually train. Now here we can actually fight enemies. Let's not worry about that. In this little arena, we have some flowing waterfalls for dramatic effect, and it's overall just a great place to fight. Now guys, this is our next map. We have the final valley. Hashirama versus Madara. Who will win?
And I think that covers everything that's in Trials of the Shinobi 1.3. Be prepared for the custom NPCs to be making a return, as long as some other things that are going to be added. But with that, if you guys like this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out the channel a ton. And if you like this mod, make sure to go download it and endorse it. Thanks for watching.